My name's Michael Doherty. I'm the centre manager here in the Glen Community Complex.
My name is Paul Niblock and I'm the youth coordinator here at Glen Parent Youth Group.
When COVID hit in March, it had a devastating effect on the community, particularly once lockdown kicked in. In terms of the centre here, we run a daycare and after schools, youth provision, education and training, family support, and a whole wide variety of other activities. Obviously with lockdown, a number of them we actually had to close down. But the thing that really became very apparent for us was whenever people had to self-isolate, there was nowhere then people locally could have some sort of central base to offer support. And we stepped into that void and we became the Leonardine COVID Community Response Centre. We set up a Facebook page saying to people, look, any support, any help you need, go through that.
When we first initially put out onto the SOS page that for anybody that needed anything, we had initially got a lot of donations sent in just in terms of food and stuff like that. Porrick Sarsfield's GAC was absolutely phenomenal. They'd done a massive big drive and a lot of food then came to the centre. It was the same other people was donating into the centre, and at that particular time we didn't realise the sheer volume of hampers that we were going to be delivering. We thought maybe 50, 60 tops. Then all of a sudden the phone just rang off the hook.
Over the next 13 weeks, basically throughout May, June and part of July, we basically distributed 300 food parcels to homes every single week. Now some people, as I started feeling safe to go out with a phone, says, look, I'm okay now, I really appreciate what you've done. And in some cases, some houses we were going to, people were saying, I've enough in, but I know somebody across the way there who won't ask for help, but they could do with it. And we were able to go and support them.
But what we started to notice then was that the mental health of our young people was being really, really affected. We are social animals. We are born to interact with each other and be friendly, and particularly teenagers, it was a very, very, very difficult time for them. We done initiatives like a walk and talk initiative whereby it was all socially distanced. We brought our kids out onto the streets and walked with them, chatted with them, and it led us to look at what else is going on out there with our young people. We realised that our local counselling service had lost a lot of funding. A lot of these young people had two of their friends had passed away to suicide at the start of the year, and we were really concerned that this something like this was going to happen again, particularly at the first COVID. So what we done was we done an initial programme, was a walk and talk initiative, whereby we managed to raise £10,000 towards the local counselling project to be able to give our young people and everybody else for that matter the opportunity to be able to attend counselling services, and it was all done over the phone. What we found initially was, in terms of working with our young people, everything had to move online. So what we done was we looked at the membership that we had in here, and we started phoning around and asking parents, did they have tablets, did they have Wi-Fi, did they have this and that and the other, and it was frightening, the number that didn't, and the number of kids then their education was falling behind. So what we did, and thanks to Children in Need, we were able to secure a booster grant with Emmons that was able to allow us to go and buy a vast amount of Kindles, a vast amount of Wi-Fi dongles, and supply our young people that didn't have this to be able to do their online work from home and to keep up with the rest of their class and not fall behind. A couple of things we done I thought was fantastic was we done like an online yoga session, because what we were finding was that the young people were saying to us that they're really stressed and they're bored and they can't get out, and so we brought a facilitator in and she delivered 10 online yoga sessions, which was fantastic. Now there was about 16, 17 young people were joining in every week. Another thing as well was the fact that we were having we're watching a football match together. So we were picking a football match that was on when the football did come back on again. This was, or else we were having like FIFA tournaments with the young people, and the staff then were interacting and talking to the young people, making sure they were okay, and just general things like that as well. We've done like a fancy dress competition. We did online quizzes. So there were loads of different initiatives at that particular time.
Just think, for children and young people, we need to get a bit of stability back in their lives. There's no doubt we will be doing a lot more mindfulness work with them, a lot more resilience work with them. We need to build their resilience to help them to cope better, that whatever challenges they face. They've came through COVID. Hopefully, the majority of them have come out of it relatively unscathed, but I'm sure psychologically a lot of them, have been affected by it. And again, maybe with deaths or illnesses in family, it's had an effect on them. So I think we need to do a lot of work around that.
The message I have to the education community is that they just need to support us. They need to support us at every wheel and turn. They need to be there for us if we lift the phone or see what's going on or you know, not leave it just to go, right, you do that or do this and that. We need to be able, there needs to be a clear directive as to what is going on. There needs to be a clear directive as to what us youth workers are set to do. And I'm not saying it, and that's not an easy task, because there might be stuff that happens in different parts of the city. It mightn't necessarily happen here, but that's up to us as youth workers to be able to weed that out and be able to say, look, here's the major issues that's happening in the greater London area, because I can only talk because that's where I'm working. Here's the major issues that's happening here right now. We need your support to be able to combat this. Whether that's through being able to supply us with counsellors, child psychologists, whether it's to give us money for different programmes, whether it's to be able to say, look, we want these to open up more hours, we need to be able to do this and that. We're more than willing. We are more than willing to do it, but we need the backing and we need the support of the education committee to be able to do the jobs fully. You know, it just needs to be a collective response where everybody's singing from the same hymn sheet.